Hi, this is Jim Jordan with Create Vibrant Health, and today I want to go to part two of reviewing a NES bioenergetic scan. The last video I did, I covered my personal scan, the first two screens in the NES scan, the energy source and energy strength screens. So today I want to go to the integrators. So let me share screen here, and there we go. Share. And here we go. Okay, so we're looking at, as you can see at the top of the page here, there's these icons. And these icons are pages on the NES scan. So this is where all the data is uploaded from your scan. So the scan, as you remember, is based on a little scanning device. Here we go here. Looks like a computer mouse that's plugged into your computer. You download the NES BioSync software that does the scanning, and you just open the software and hit scan with your hand on the scanner, and all this data is uploaded into your NES Health portal, which is your own private portal as a client that I have access to as your practitioner, and I can review the results. So essentially, we're going to be going through I'm going to probably just cover one screen here because this is a lot of information. I just want to give you chunks of information here. So the first part, we covered energy source, which is where you get your energy from in the environment, diet, hydration, exercise, oxygen, circadian rhythms, Earth's energy, things like that. Then we went to the energy strength screen, which is the strength of the organs and systems of the body, actually the actual strength, whether you have enough energy to run those systems. And now we get into what's called the energy flow screen, which in the NES system are called energetic integrators. So integrators are very similar to the meridians in Chinese medicine. So they're actually energetic pathways, and you can think of them sort of like either a road, or another analogy that works is a train network. Let's say you're in a big city. I'm from Chicago, so there's lots of train lines in Chicago all over the place. Okay, they all head into downtown Chicago, but all those lines are like integrators. They are like the meridians that carry information. The information would be the equivalent of the train itself that's moving along the line and stopping at certain stations and making deliveries of information. So here you can see in this first integrator, EI1, neurosensory large intestine, that it starts over here at the top of the head, the frontal lobes field. You can go all the way down, pass through paranasal sinus field, down into the respiratory tract, and of course down into the colon, the large intestine. So that, and the bottom of it here is lymphatic vessels field. So that is like the equivalent of a train line that's delivering information, like instructions of how to run these different systems. So if there is a problem with your sinuses, if there's a problem with your bronchioles, your mucous membranes, your skin, dermis field here, or the colon, then it could be related to improper instructions to that area how to work properly. That organ is not working properly because it's not getting the correct information, like software. So the NES system, when you identify a high priority, which is purple, okay, here's purple. Purple is high priority, orange is secondary, then there's yellow, green is low, so anything other than purple is really not something you need to address in that scan. So this is my scan. So I'm going over my high priority here. The integrator screen is integrator 3, mucous membranes, small intestine. So essentially there is some distortion in the information transfer going on that pathway. So let's take a look at it. Before we get to that, actually, you can see there's EI1, large intestine, EI2, heart-lung meridian, which is something that we know from Chinese medicine is related a lot to CO2 oxygen exchange. And when you scan down a little bit here, you can see the primary energetic matches. In EI2, it's cardiac tissue, heart function, lung tissue, heart-lung interaction, and emotional factors. Now the emotional factors start to come into the NES scan, where if this integrator is not open and flowing, some of these things can start to go out of whack, like self-esteem could be low, You could be dealing with some grief or depression, tolerance, intolerance, some intolerance happening for a person here if this is blocked. So that's energetic integrator number 2. So I'll touch on most of these. I'll see if I can touch most, but let's prioritize here. In my scan, EI3 came up, and here we go. Mucous membranes field, ear canal field. What do you know? For me, I've been having ear issues, and the scan always picks it up. It picked up EI3, ear canal issues. Okay, so I always do the scan. It just verifies what I know, but it also corroborates the accuracy of the reading of the scan. So that includes the mucous membranes, the ear canal, the thyroid, the muscle fascia here on the shoulder, the left ventricle field. You can see all the way down into the intestinal villi field. So again, this is the recommendations that would come off of this could be dietary recommendations, herbal recommendations. I might verify some things with the microscope too, the lead blood or other blood chemistry or something, but I know there's some intestinal issue, and I figured out in my case, sort of with looking at my entire scan, where to focus my attention with my refining my program to deal with some of the tweaks I'm doing with my health issues. We all have health issues, okay? Whether you feel in good health or bad health, there's always things to improve. So mucous membranes field, that includes the small intestine, like I said. Bones also are in this too, in this integrator, relation to calcium metabolism, the vertebrae, and then the emotions, sorrow and joy, so that there's always going to be a dichotomy. So there's going to be like the key is having more joy or being able to process your sorrow. But if the integrator is off a bit, there could be some suppressed sorrow, things like that, grief, clarity of thought, confusion, all these things. Would love to get these things improving for me, that's for sure. So I got the infoceutical, which matches to these, the bioenergetic imbalances found in EI3. And I started taking that recently, and we'll see how that moves through the next 3 or 4 weeks. So going down the integrators, we have EI4, which is neurotransmitters and heart. And you can see basically the integrators are different than the drivers in that they are the energetic pathways where information is delivered. So it's really the information is being delivered through a biochemical process, essentially. There's essentially through electrons and photons. So through light and electron transfer into the tissues, into the, let's say in this case, EI4, into the, it could be in the bronchioles field is part of it, the AV nodes too, AV bundle field, the heart. So it could be information that's being transferred here that would get the respiratory tract and heart to start to work more efficiently if EI4 was off. That could be one of the things. It could also relate to something further downstream, like the bladder, hemoglobin, sphincter. All of that is part of integrator number 4. Integrator number 5 is lymphatics and bladder. Again, these are like Chinese medicine meridians. They're like energetic pathways going through the body, touching all these areas, like the train station, the train line analogy. So the entire train network is the entire integrator system of the body. And each particular line that goes into a section like the Northwest line is carrying information. This would be the equivalent EI5 of a specific line, train line. And each of these little places here, the cranial sinus field or the nasal field, is this train stop, essentially, on the way, delivering information for these systems to work better. So when the NES system sees a purple or orange, then that means there's work to be done in that area. There's improvements to be made. Also, you can see in the integrator screen, there's little circles with numbers in them. The higher the number, the more likely that part of the field is the problem on the train track. Let's say that the rail is off, is not lined up or something. Something's not flowing through that part. So here, nasal concha field is a 4. Interestingly, I do have some nasal ear connection thing. So that is the likely area that would show up for me. Then we go down to the kidney integrator. Kidney integrator, of course, concludes the kidneys, the thymus, all the way down here. Kidney, the organ itself, the kidneys, the pH balance or regulation of the fluids, the energy reserves and stamina. In Chinese medicine, kidney energy is your stamina. It is your reserves. It's your Jing energy, your energy reserves. Pineal gland and DHEA, okay, hormonal function is tied in here very closely, and emotional factors too. Fearfulness is the major kidney energy that we're aware of, insecurity, loneliness, fearfulness. So when any of these integrators get tagged as purple, those are the organs and emotions that are most likely up for healing, supporting, processing. Going down further, the integrator number 7 is the blood gallbladder field, which is the gallbladder, of course. Blood cell production, hemoglobin. You can see all the different things this integrator tags, including gallbladder and upper digestive tract, so digestion of fats, and emotional factors like anger and wrath and bitterness are gallbladder related. So that's the gallbladder integrator. Right down there, you can see the connection starting up in the motor cortex field, all the way coming down through the bile ducts, all the way down to the ileum field in the colon muscles. Fantastic. So just loads of information that you're getting through this integrator screen. It's really, when you get to the integrators, you're getting to see the whole, you're starting to see a bigger, broader picture that NES can show you. And that's why it is so incredible at helping people address their health issues, because it goes deeper than just isolating specific organs and symptoms. It goes into the entire network, the interconnectedness of everything, and starts to peel back the layers of the onion so you can start to see what is actually going on here. In my case, it's in this screen, mucous membrane, small intestine. Liver integrator. Liver is also, in this case, it does deal with microbial infection, which is sort of a bacterial overgrowth. Think of it that way. The bacteria can get dysregulated because of immune system issues, toxicity, stress. So sort of some imbalance in the microbial terrain, and that shows up here in the liver integrator, as does your liver function. And eyesight is, of course, part of, in Chinese medicine, liver meridian. Eyes are affected by the liver because the liver is the filter of the blood, and when toxins build up, that will affect your eyesight, of course. Hormone production too, and there's the emotional factors too, which are also, just always right on. Arrogance is part of the liver integrator. If you're out of balance, you could be feeling too arrogant or anger, intolerant. These are the types of things that show up. Number 9, the thyroid triple burner, which is, of course, hormone related, but very much related to the thyroid. And it really focuses on the 3 cavities of the body, which is the cranial cavity, where the brain is stored, the thoracic cavity, the heart and lungs, and the abdominal cavity, the kidney and intestinal tract and all that, bladder. So those 3 cavities are where the energy in Chinese medicine moves through. Between these 3 cavities, you want to build up energy there. If thyroid triple burner comes up, there is a lack of movement of the energy between these 3 cavities, and this integrator addresses that. And the remedy, the infoceutical that addresses EI9 would address that blockage of energy flow. EI10 is circulation integrator. Circulation integrator relates, of course, as an integrator to much more than just the vascular system. It starts with the eyes and the larynx, bones, stomach, pancreas, adrenals. This is all circulation too. Of course, the entire arterial and venous circulatory system, and neuroendocrine regulation, neurotransmitters and hormones are really tied in deeply, key part of a dysregulated integrator number 10. Number 11 is called bone marrow stomach integrator. So this is the stomach meridian. You can see this is like lots of content, lots of train stops here, right? This is a big train line. It goes from the far suburbs downtown, right? Bringing you all the way in. Downtown, let's call that the head. Okay, so here it's going, all these stops is an information exchange. At that station, there's an information exchange with those tissues and the electrons and photons that are instructing, telling the colon how to work, the groin field, the appendix field. What's their job? What are they supposed to do? They get instructions through this integrator system. It's like the software running the hardware. And the last integrator is EI12 shock spleen meridian. They call it shock spleen because when this is out of balance, it can often be as a result of shock, a trauma to the system, emotional shock or trauma. And when people are worn out, when I first started doing NES after being ill for some years, this came up a lot for me, shock spleen meridian. Had to support that, and now it doesn't come up very often at all. So it is the spleen, it is lymphatics, and it is the pancreas, digestion. It relates to collapse. People who have been on the verge of exhaustion need this integrator opened up. You need it flowing again. So when you start doing NES scans, it may come up if you are this symptom pattern. And that's okay if it does. You want it to come up. You want to get the information from the infoceutical to get this working. So when these things come up as purple in your scan, you say, fantastic, I want to get this working again. And sometimes it takes more than one round to get the integrator back dialed in, to get that train line working properly again, where the trains are running, they're delivering, they're making their deliveries at the stations. And so this one for me has been clear for a long time, but it was coming up at one point very often. So energetic integrators, energy flow is just an incredible part of the entire NES system. As you can see, there are 10 screens here. This is part 2. I want to make these kind of short and to the point, so it's not too much information. So next time I'll cover mind, body. But for today, I think this is good enough to get the second video here of where you can see what is in a NES scan actually. What information can you see in the energy flow screen? So now we have the first 3 screens covered, and that is sort of the heart of a NES scan. Building your energy, building your over life force energy, build the energy of the organs, and developing, opening up the integrators so the energy can flow and the information can flow through the body field. So this is key, these first 3 screens, to get these starting to click really well. And once they are, then you can work further down into the scan and start to clean up more and more to get your system working really the way it was designed to work. The NES system is all about getting your system to operate the way it was designed to work initially, in the perfection of your creation. That is the purpose of the NES system. That's why it's so wonderful. It's why it changed my life. It's why I'm doing these videos now, because I want more people, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback from the previous one. People are interested in it because they're starting to see that just throwing nutrients into the body or trying things randomly, the chance of that really bringing about healing is very slim. You need a system. You need to work within your body's priorities to start to establish the foundational energetic principles so you can start to heal and recover. And then sometimes your symptoms that you're most aware of resolve early. Sometimes it takes a while before they resolve. So it's more about building health. Health is the objective here, not treating any disease, it's creating health. So let's stop share here. And okay, I'm back. So yes, that's part 2 of the NES scan. Energetic integrators. I hope this was helpful, and I will continue to do these videos to get through the NES, a NES scan, a full NES scan, and it might take, some few weeks more to do, but every few days or so, or every week, I'll do another video on this, and I hope this is really useful. So if you see this video and you have questions, I will put a link in the notes below. If this is on YouTube or Rumble, you can always like and share, of course. Okay. You can always contact me. I'll put a link in the notes below to go to my website, the NES page at least. And you can always contact my office by email, or my office number, 541-482-2250 is the number. And I'm happy to talk to you more about how NES can be part of your building vibrant health. So this is Jim Jordan with Create Vibrant Health, wishing you a great day.